Angela Euell McNair, wife and mother of a loving family with 5 children, small business owner, and twice elected school board director of Erie, graduate of Edinburgh University with a master's in social work from the University of Pittsburgh, helper, innovator, leader, current candidate for Erie County Council District 4. I'm glad to be here today. You don't know how much this means to me. I and a lot of other people feel that you're wonderfully qualified for this position. And, you know, Erie is going through a lot of issues these days. We all know how COVID has ravaged our cities and starved way too many of our businesses. But were you surprised about how the pandemic has revealed so many of the problems in our region?
I'm not surprised. I understand how COVID has had an effect on Erie County. I've seen businesses closed and people struggle to have access to health care. I personally have had to adjust as a wife, mother, and community leader and a small business owner. I felt during this time it was important for leaders like myself to step up and lead, and also important for us to give people in the community all over Erie County access to information and healthcare during this time. And I was also able to secure a grant during this time as a leader to pass out educational information to pre-K students, kindergarten students when everything first started. I was also able to provide small businesses with information about payroll protection, and also with other funding that could support their business during this time, as I received some of this funding of myself and was able to pay employees during this time, even though we were closed. I made sure that they were taken care of. And also, it's important that leaders have been advocating during this time. I know that I personally advocated for COVID testing that we do at the Booker T. Washington Center and other community centers around town and around the county. I also was able to guide some of the small businesses during this time on how to keep their doors open or sustain. And also, most importantly, in my role as school director, I was able to provide advocacy for the safe return of our students. Right. I adjusted my business to ensure that the families were safe when we reopened, so we had a lot of guidelines that we followed. And also, I'm glad to have been able to support small businesses that were able to start up during COVID with pop-up shops that we do at my building on State Street. So I feel like as a leader, it was my job and my obligation to help people during this time. And I'm glad that I was able to advocate and provide information for healthcare, for funding, and for support systems. And as a candidate for county council, I plan to continue this advocacy so that everyone has healthcare, has funding that they need to be rescued as small businesses, and also not just to be rescuing the ones that are open, but also reopening some closed doors as well.
All right. So I mean, we've all been undergone a situation of extreme pressure, pressure to adapt, forcing us to adapt. One of the things that I found is a problem in Erie County, of many of our problems, is we tend to work in silos. We don't always want to be open to new ideas or new people. We don't always find it easy to work together. So we don't tend to maximize our resources. Can you tell us about a time that you led a team to solve a problem?
Well, first of all, I led a team when we provided those educational materials from Booker T. Washington Center to the community. We had to come together, write a grant, and also bring workers in to deliver the packages, because at that time we were fully closed. I've also been a great organizer with the Juneteenth initiative that I organize every year. And last year we led a nonviolent protest And a lot of community members got involved, including our school superintendent and the police chief of Erie. So I feel like I'm able to spearhead things that bring people together and solve problems, and also even including helping small businesses with these pop-up shops, as far as getting them a boost, in earning funds to support the things that they are doing in their families.
Well, Erie County's 4th District, which you're running for county council, that's a very broad community. It circles East 12th Street and the prison, even across Buffalo Road to Wesleyville and down to Mill Creek. 4th District also extends down Glenwood, Sassafras, and Pine Road. Why is it crucial that we all come together now?
I feel that it's crucial that we come together at this time because we all need the same things and we all have similar goals. Ultimately, we want to see safety happen in our community. We want to make sure that everyone has access to health care and also support anyone that's in need. We don't want to see any more businesses closed in this area or across the county. And we also want to see our neighborhoods thrive. So in the 4th District, I want to make sure we're thriving. Some of these businesses that have been closed, reopened, that we have access to the things that everyone needs in our area. And also as a social worker, my experience is, and my job is to help make people better, help make things better. And that's what I want to do, is bring us together so that things can get more progressive for the greater good.
Okay, when you look at the influx of federal funds from the American Rescue Plan and the American Jobs Plan, how important are unions to the future of America, whether they be teachers, safety workers, healthcare workers, or the trades?
With all of the funding coming, it's important that we support our unions. As a county council member, I can honestly say that supporting the community college will provide trained workers that the unions need, and also providing projects in which union workers can have contracts at. So I just want to make sure that we understand that unions built this city and built this country, and they are very important, and it's very important that we support them when we receive this funding.
Great, great, man. I understand that you have a degree in social work. When we consider our greatest local resources, many, including yourself, mention our lake, and rightfully so. But how do you see yourself working on county council to maximize our greatest resource, our people?
Once again, as a social worker, my job is to care about our region and our natural resources. So making sure that they are not disturbed, as well as our environment being preserved. Our lake is our asset, but most importantly, our people are the asset of this region. And we need to make sure that Erie is a desirable place to be, that our young people want to grow and stay here. We need to make sure that we keep competitive wages, provide job opportunities, and ways to keep our young people and the community as a whole engaged.
Great. Now, it was a blow to everyone a couple years ago when the Meadowbrook facility on Buffalo Road was closed. Several local businesses like Nunzi's have closed during the pandemic. 50% more money spent at local businesses stays right in the community than other, businesses from outside the community. How do you see yourself helping local business when you're on council?
I see myself helping local businesses by allocating some of the funding coming our way and supporting them financially, but also with providing them with resources and tools to make necessary adjustments as time goes along.
Right. Well, with that, new American businesses form a net positive percentage of business growth all across America historically. How important is it to you that they're included in our local development?
With so many cultures and ethnicities in our county, we need to make sure that we remain all inclusive in order to stay on track. And we track that measure of diversity and inclusion that we have here. And that's what makes our county unique, that we have so many cultures and so many ethnicities that reside here. We want to make sure everybody has a fair chance to sustain and maintain.
All right. Well, I imagine on the school board, that's been one of the issues that has constantly been a concern is working with new Americans, working with the diverse groups of people. Could you speak just a little bit to that, please?
Well, I'm always advocating that we are conscious of the different ethnic backgrounds and cultural backgrounds that we have. And I personally started the diversity committee for the Erie School District, and which led to having a diversity officer, which I plan on doing as a county council member, is having advisory committees that represent all groups across our region.
Great, great. In light of what we've learned during the pandemic, can we afford to continue politics as usual?
As time changes, we can't afford to do anything as usual, including politics. It's time to stop placing people in office that are just gaining seats based off name recognition, but putting people such as myself and some of the other candidates that are up and coming in office who are willing to put in work to help the entire community.
All right. Helper, innovator, leader. Be there for McNair on May 18th. Vote. Vote Angela Euell McNair for Erie County Council District 4. Thank you.